Hello Voltheads, you are watching the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators.
Today it's the turn of Deusillus to take on the 7 Sin deck. The third game of round 1, there's the 7 Sin deck. So far I'm 1-1 against it, 1 win, 1 loss. So let's see how the Deusillus, the gigantic creature for the House Saurian, can do against it. Again, I'm playing against Thorodd Alpaca, Simon, one of the Snufflegators teammates, and decided to keep that. We played down the portion of invulnerability and then passed the turn. I'm finding that there are a few artifacts that have omni abilities that it's helpful if you can just get some value out of them. So Simon's played 2 subdues and then played Teleport Chief Tink, passed it back to me. Decent start for him there, but as you can see I've got a decent Saurian hand to fill out the board. So I've played Dera Centurion, captured one of his 2, then played Cornicin Octavia, then played Chant of Hubris to move 1 from my Thera Centurion to his Tink, and then pass the turn. So again, I've got a couple of Saurian in hand, and then we've got a bit of Untamed. A lot will depend here on what he does, but he's played Prefectus Ludo, and then he's played Consul Primus, then he's played Dreadbone Decimus, and pass the turn back to me. So it's a choice between really the Saurian and the Untamed here. And as you can see, I've gone for the Saurian. So 2 creatures to put into play, and 2 creatures in play to use. Potentially an Omni ability to put some damage onto the other side and save mine. So yeah, played the Galeatops, played the Cornicin Octavia, popped the Potion of Invulnerability, fight with the Centurion, capture 1, and I've taken off Prefectus Ludo, so the destroyed ability of Prefectus Ludo being passed over and the amber disappearing doesn't cause any amber that my opponent gets to disappear on me. Still got Cornicin Octavia, who is fighting off his Consul Primus, because that would let him move that amber from Tink to me, and he's got 1 Saurian, 1 Star Alliance creature down, no amber, and I've got 2 amber but a nice board. Then again we've got the 3 Untamed cards, it's coming but no half of Deusillus, so not really worth playing at the moment, but got a Shoulder Armour and a Grey Rider too. So he's played down away team, he's reaped with Chief Teleporter Tink, still got 4 cards in hand, so there may be something else. Played down the Access Denied and attached it to Galeatops. And then used the capture icon to capture 1 of my amber. So just deciding whether or not, well, I mean, there's a lot of action could be got from the Saurian house. 4 creatures down and 1 in hand, and then there's 3 Untamed or 2 Sanctum creatures. Obviously the Grey Rider will trigger 1 of the Saurian creatures, but yeah, having 4 ready creatures down is a good thing, and as well when they're 4 strong beefy creatures, maybe worth looking at reaping out or thinning out my opponent's line. So I've fought the Dreadbone Decimus with Octavia, I've reaped with Galeatops, reaped with Octavia, reaped with the Centurion, taking myself to 5. There's no point discarding the It's Coming, but I've played the It's Coming to get me to 6. I haven't taken half of Deusillus because I don't know when I'm going to get the other half. So yeah, there we go. And then Simon's chosen this, putting Infernus down. It's going to make me lose 2, you'd think. Yeah, I mean, as It's Coming and Potion of Invulnerability. And those are the 2 that he's got rid of. There was a Chant of Hubris as well, but I think the It's Coming and the Potion of Invulnerability are better cards to be purged. And then he's passed it back to me. Pretty much around there to take me off check. Still got 4 creatures to 3 and 4 amber to 2. And then again, still got a collection of 4 Saurians down, or a collection of 4 untamed cards in hand to choose from. Gone for the Saurians again, and then I've got rid of the Tink and captured 1, and then reaped with the second Octavia and reaped with Galeatops, so that puts me on 7. And again, it leaves Simon with just 2 creatures, and they're not even from the same house. So this time he's gone into Saurians. He's played down an Octavia of his own. Then he's played down a Faust the Great. And he's exalted Faust the Great, which will make my key cost 7, which is a good move. So I forge a key for 7. Again, that the Saurian board has been providing good value at the moment. So the question is, do I keep getting the value out of the 4 Saurian creatures, or do I try and move some of the Untamed out of my hand? And I've gone for the Untamed, put down a Vine Apple Tree, put down the Growth Surge onto Galeatops, so he's an extra power now. And then I've got the Dark Fairy and the Niffle Ape. Played the Dark Fairy, played the Niffle Ape, pass the turn. And there we go, we've got one of the halves of Deusillus, so it may have been worth changing myself, but possibly not. Also got Prefectus Ludo, and then we've got Smite, Grey Rider, Shoulder Armour, and a second Grey Rider, so we can have a decent Sanctum turn there. Or again, if these 4 Saurian creatures stay alive, we could have a decent Saurian turn, so it wants to be Saurian or Sanctum. He's reaped with Away Team. He's played Explorova. Is he playing it as an upgrade? No, he's playing it as a creature. Then he's played another Explorova. And then pass the turn. Growing his board now. 1 Dis, 2 Saurian, 3-star Alliance. So then it comes back to me. I've gone for Sanctum. I mean, the Grey Riders are going to produce 2 fights from creatures that are already down, as is the Smite. So I've used Smite onto Thorodd Centurion and made it fight Octavia, which has taken out the Octavia and done 2 damage to a Rover and the away team. Put down Grey Rider next to Dark Fairy. Dark Fairy has fought and gained 2 amber because of the fight, and it's got rid of the Explorova. Put down the Shoulder Armour on the Grey Rider on the left flank, so now I'm going to be playing the Grey Rider on the right flank, most likely, or deploy it. You can deploy it anywhere. I mean, I've got a 7 power 1 armor creature there with no damage on it that might be worth fighting with. So I've put the Glare Rider into play. I've put it on the edge. I'm making Niffle Ape do the fighting. And I've taken out the away team purely because I don't want him getting upgrades back. But again, what that has done is it's left him with 1 creature from each house on the board and taken me to check. And again, I've still got a large board, so again, it's going well at the moment for me. But the only problem is, again, keeps playing cards, no sins come out. If all the sins come out at the same time, it could go very wrong very quickly. And this deck isn't that heavy on creature control, but anyway, we'll see how we go. So he's just played down a Galeatops and a Faust the Great. And then I've forged a key for 6. So could he have exalted Faust there to stop me forging? Maybe. But yeah, so 2 keys to 0 and 2 amber. Still got 4 Saurians down, 2 Sanctum, 1 Untamed creature. Yeah, we've got the Ghost Hawk and the Key Frog. In this deck, the Key Frog's pretty useless, quite frankly. I don't think it's ever triggered because there's no way to kill it in Untamed. I've put down the Perfectus Ludo to try and protect Amber on my creatures. And I've discarded Deusillus. Now it's just a matter of what to do with the other 4. So I've destroyed the Cornicent Octavia by fighting it into Faust, which has also removed all the amber from it. I've reaped with Galeatops, I've reaped with the other Octavia, and I've reaped with the other Centurion. And then Simon has used a Gateway to this to wipe the board, although that again is a good thing for me with the amber on the 3 amber that's on that Centurion that's still in play. It's not a great thing losing all my creatures, obviously, but at least I don't pass any amber back. So that is a good wipe, because I think another 1 or 2 more turns of that, and with that volume of board, I can just get the win. And he's put into play the 2 sins that you can see there, Greed and Envy. So Greed's going to get him extra cards, Envy captures all my amber. So Envy is now the worry. Envy is the one I need to get rid of out of those 2 creatures if possible. At the moment, I have no way in hand of getting rid of either of them. We've got a Saurian upgrade with no creatures. That I could have done maybe with coming a little bit earlier. We've got a Potion of Invulnerability and Burning Glare to stun an enemy creature or all enemy mutants. That's what it does. Sorry, you can't see it at the moment. And we've got the Key Frog and the other Untamed creature that's in there. So we've gone for the Sanctum, stun the Envy, basically stop it capturing all my amber, and then pass the turn, basically again looking for creature control. Blast from the Past sounds good, but I mean, you got to imagine it's just not going to work 50% of the time, because every time your opponent has even numbers, you can't use it unless you can kill one of their creatures before you use it. So it'll kill one of his creatures. Oh, and look at that, he's got even numbers. So Blast from the Past is pretty useless. So again, still looking for just either something to kill a couple of cards or something to kill 1 card. I mean, we've got a Lost in the Woods here that would take out 2 of his creatures. That would be quite handy. I've definitely had one of the smites. I don't think I've had the second yet, but again, to be fair, I haven't got a creature to play the smite onto. The Fangs of Gizelheart would be quite handy. Because yeah, the sins are starting to grow now, and they're going to be difficult to get rid of. Again, especially if Pride comes down and starts warding them. So yeah, we've gone for the Niffle Queen, the Key Frog, and the Vine-Apple Tree. Vine-Apple Trees mainly because I don't care what cost I forge at now if I forge a key and win the game. So hammering the Vine-Apple Tree now is just a good thing, because either I will win the game really expensively or my opponent will pay a heavy cost, but I won't, and I will forge at 6. But I would expect him here to possibly use those creatures. I mean, he hasn't got Gluttony down, so he's not going to pull all my Amber off of Envy if he reaps with Envy, but if he reaps with Envy, he is going to capture all 5 of my Amber. And as well, he could reap with Envy and possibly kill the Niffle Queen. If I was Simon here, I'd be looking to reap with the Envy to capture all of mine, and then kill the Niffle Queen so that Envy could survive, hopefully long enough for him to pull all of the Amber from Envy into his pool with Gluttony when Gluttony comes, which it is going to do. But again, yeah, I still haven't got any creature control. He's gone into Saurian. I've still got the Blast from the Past, obviously, but that just may do nothing. So he's played Humble to exhaust the Key Frog, which is probably a good thing. So again, if I get to 7 at the moment and then kill the Key Frog, win the game. Played Sagittarius Gaze, gained an Amber, Exalted Envy, played Octavia, Blade Stomp, and killed Key Frog with the Stomp. Again, he was worried about the Key Frog there. I don't blame him, to be fair. So, realistically, I need to get rid of Envy before it captures all my Amber. I mean, I know that Simon's up to 11, but still an even number of creatures, so still Blast from the Past isn't going to trigger because he's got an even number of creatures and no way for me to just kill one creature first so that Blast from the Past, which in my opinion is the most useless creature control in the game, will trigger. So yeah, see what we get here. So I mean, Pride, Green, Envy and Sloth. The Envy's the one that's going to stop me winning. They're all good. Pride will save them all. Sloth will keep earning him lots of Amber. Greed will keep getting him lots of cards. Envy will stop me winning the game. So I've managed to fight one of them off there with the Niffle Queen. I've done Pride because much as Envy I feel is the threat, if he goes into Pride and wards Envy, I won't be able to get Envy off. So I went for Pride. Again, maybe hoping to draw my Lost in the Woods. So we've still got a Blast from the Past that if there's an even number of creatures down there at the end of the turn I won't be able to use. We still haven't got the Lost in the Woods, which would get rid of 2 of those sins and probably let me win the game. Probably get me into a position where I can win the game, because at the moment, I mean, the 3 sins there, when he just forged, he had 11 Amber. And again, if he doesn't use a creature this turn, he's going to earn a lot of Amber off the Sloth. But equally, he's still got the option to reap with Envy. And now, with the exception of Pride, I think we've got the other 6 sins down. So yeah, Gluttony's now in play as well. So a Reap with Envy and a Reap with Gluttony basically moves all my amber to his pool. Two, three, four. I still don't think we've got an even number of creatures in the battle line. So yet again, for the third consecutive turn, Blast from the Past will not allow me to kill a creature. So I've gone into Untamed. I'm going to play Rapid Evolution. I'm going to play it on Niffle Queen to make a lot beefier and a lot better. Put another one on the Vine Apple Tree again. That's increased the key cost for Simon to 11, but that's because of Desire that increases the key cost to 10 for both players. But when you Reap with it, it helps. So there we go. I've just finally got rid of Envy, and that's got the amber back that was on that one, the Exalted Amber. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot on Gluttony. It may be worth taking out Gluttony if possible. Was Gluttony protected there by the Wrath? Yeah, it's protected by the Wrath, so unfortunately I can't kill it. Because again, I mean, the 6 that's on Gluttony, if he just Reaps with Gluttony next turn, unless I can then stop him forging, I mean, he's going to be forging. Well, he's not forging at a cost of 11, but the problem is he will forge next turn if I don't take out the Desire or the Gluttony. But the Desire, the key cheat one, is protected by Wrath, and Gluttony is protected by Wrath. And if I run Niffle Queen into Wrath, she'll die. So yeah, again, just the ability to kill just one creature there. If I could get rid of Desire, it'd be in a bit of a trouble there, because I'd be forging for 6. I'd be forging for 7. So he's played Encounter Suit and he's attached it to Gluttony to make Gluttony harder to kill. He's played Trigon, played Red Alert, used an Encounter Suit on Gluttony, played Hadron Collision to do some damage to the Niffle Queen, but she's still alive. But again, at the moment, the Desire and Gluttony are now the problem. Subduers stunned Niffle Queen, so Niffle Queen can't take anything off this turn because she'll be stunned. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put Explorova on Gluttony to give it Skirmish. And yet again, even amount of creatures on my opponent's battle line, and still, this stupid rubbish Ides. Sorry, it's not Blaster on the Past. Blaster on the Past works. It's Ides of March. Deal 23 damage to a creature, but it must be a creature at the centre of a battle line, and the centre of the battle line literally has to be when they've got an odd number of creatures. So yeah, it's just an absolute waste of space. And then he's used Quintrino Flux, and he's destroyed Niffle Queen. He's also destroyed Cronus and Octavia and Sloth. But again, that's not a bad thing, because he needs to keep the Desire and the Gluttony in play. If he keeps the Desire and Gluttony in play, he's most likely going to win the game. So I'm going into Surrey now just to clear the cards out of my hand. But again, he's just killed some creatures and one of mine himself, and he's still got an even number of creatures down. So we'll play that stupid Ides of March for absolutely no reason. I think I've played about 10 games with this deck now, and it's never killed a single creature, despite the fact that it is good enough to kill every creature in the game if they would just be an odd number of opponents' creatures down when you played it. Genuinely, designers, whoever designed that card, poor. A simple deal 23 damage to a creature would have been perfectly fine. Every time I see that in a deck, I'm like, well, that's a waste of a card. Now he's gone back into this, so he's Reek with Greed, Reek with Wrath, Reek with Gluttony, moved a load of amber to his pool, Reek with Desire, forged a key. I mean, if he had an essence scale now in play, he could literally kill a disc creature, ready Desire again, and Reek with Desire again and win the game. But realistically, he's probably going to win the game anyway, because I've got 7, but I can't forge at 10. I've got no key cheats other than the key frog, which, as I say, there's no way in Untamed for me to kill it. There's the Lost in the Woods that I needed about 3 turns ago. Finally. So yeah, the sins coming down altogether and getting value out of them was just too much for me there. Simon's going to win. He's played the sins well. The board wipe was a really good play too. So yeah, I mean, I've got rid of Lost in the Woods. I've used Lost in the Woods. I've got rid of a few creatures, but yeah, that is the game for Simon. So yeah, your Deusillus there. It's forged 2 keys, but from 2 keys to 0, and also my opponent only having 2 amber, it's also then lost the game 3 keys to 2. So what a comeback from 7 sins. That shows how powerful 7 sins are, that at 2 keys to 0 and 2 amber down, they've absolutely smashed the Deusillus deck. By 3 keys to 2 in the end, and I never particularly looked like forging the 3rd key. In terms of what Deusillus has done, lost the game unfortunately. Maybe needs a little bit more creature control, but it would help if one of the creature control cards in there actually worked. It's forged 2 keys, which is good. Unfortunately, I didn't play Deusillus down. Which is a shame, but yeah, that's how the Gigantics are going on now. So probably looking at Thursday for the first game of round 2, which will be Ultra Gravitron. And as ever, if you're interested in putting one of your decks against the 3 Gigantics, leave me a comment and we should be able to sort that out. So
thanks for watching, so feel free to like and subscribe. I love comments and criticism, so please feel free to leave those. I'll hope to see you next time, but until then, may the forge be with you.